Okay, Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. So today we are going to go into a new subtopic which is 1.3 Stoichiometry. Okay, so let's look at our learning objectives for today. So first of all, you will learn how to write and balance your chemical equation by inspection method. Okay, and then second you will learn how to write and balance for redox equation by ion electron method. Okay, so basically this is the first part of your 1.3 that you need to know. You have to learn how to balance your chemical equations, and then you will learn how to define a limiting reactant and percentage yield. So basically these two are macam the last part lah. Okay, yang ni stoichiometric calculation you will learn first. Okay, so you will learn how to use a mole concept to find your limiting reactant and find the number of moles or anything else. Okay, so the first thing that you need to know is what we're going to learn today is we will learn this one first lah. Okay, so this will be two parts. Okay, there will be part 1 and part 2 of your video, and we will go one by one so that you are not overwhelmed. Okay, alright, so balancing chemical equation. So in order to balance chemical equation, you need to know how does a chemical equation looks like first. So on your right here, okay, you have your chemical equation. Okay, this arrow means that a reaction is happening. So before the arrow are your reactants. Okay, so reactants are basically your substance, okay, that are reacting together, and as the reaction proceeds, you will form your products. Okay, you will form your products after the reaction. So the total number of atoms of each element is the same on both sides. Okay, in a balanced equation. So in order for your equation to be balanced, that means contohnya if you have 2 hydrogens here, okay, you must have 2 hydrogens in your product punya area jugalah. Okay, sama. So the X, Y, Z and W, they show the relative number of molecules reacting, and they are called the stoichiometric coefficients. Okay, so basically this tells you that you have X A molecules, okay, Y number of B molecules, Z number of C molecules, and so on. Okay, so there are 2 methods to balance your chemical equation. So we will look at the first one, which is inspection method, and then we will look at ion electron method. That is a little bit long, but you will get used to it. So by inspection method, we can use this method, okay, to balance normal chemical equations. Okay, yang ni yang dia tak ada pun cakap whether your reaction is in acidic or basic solution. So you can just go on with inspection method. Okay, paling basic. So the first thing you need to do, your first step, is to write down the unbalanced equation with the correct formula of the reactants and products. So sometimes your question, they can give you the name of your reactants and products in words. Okay, so you have to translate. Okay, contoh macam dia bagi ammonia. Okay, so you have to know that ammonia is NH3. Okay, macam hydrochloric acid, that will be HCl. Okay, so those words you need to know how to translate into your chemical formula. So on your right here, we have an example. Okay, dia dah bagi siap-siap the unbalanced chemical equation where you have ammonia reacting with copper oxide to form copper, nitrogen gas molecules, and water. Okay, guys. So the second step in balancing, now that we have the unbalanced equation, is to balance the metallic element. Okay, and then followed by non-metallic element. Okay, and then after that you will balance the hydrogen and oxygen atoms. So what I will do is, okay, what I have done is I already highlighted that your metallic element, okay, like copper, okay, in blue. Okay. Other metallic elements in your periodic table will be the ones in group 1, group 2. Okay. Lepas tu yang dekat tengah-tengah tu macam copper. Apa lagi? Magnesium. Apa-apa lagi. Those are metallic elements lah. So we start with metallic elements first. Okay, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to write down copper on my left hand side. Okay. So I've showed you before, but I'm going to show you this again. So first we balance copper. So on the left hand side, you have 1 copper. On your right hand side, you have 1 copper as well. So do we need any balancing? No, not yet. Okay. So next we're going to do our non-metallic atoms, which is nitrogen. So nitrogen is in green. Okay. So write nitrogen. So you have 1 nitrogen atom on your left, and on your right you have 2 nitrogen atoms. 2 nitrogen atoms in the nitrogen gas molecule. So what we're going to do is we are going to balance lah. How? By multiplying the one in left hand side with 2. So that means you will put 2 in front of your ammonia molecule. Okay, so now we have 2 nitrogens. Okay, next we're going to balance hydrogen. Okay, so hydrogen on your left hand side, since you already added 2 in front of your ammonia, that means that you have 2 times 3. So that means you have 6 hydrogens. Okay, 6 hydrogens. On your right, you have 2 hydrogens. Okay, how are you going to balance 6 and 2? You will times 2 with 3. Okay, so that means you will put 3 here. Okay, so now we have 6 hydrogens on both right and left hand side. Next we will balance our oxygen. So on your left you have 1 oxygen. Okay, on your right you have 3 oxygens. Okay, so what are we going to do now? We are going to balance, okay, by multiplying 3 on your left and put 3 here. Don't forget that. Okay. Okay. Now that you already put 3 in front of your copper oxide, that means that your copper is now, you have now 3 copper. Okay. So letak kali 3 kat sini. So that means you have to balance lah the copper on your right hand side pula. So how are we going to do that? Times with 3, okay? Okay, so now I think we have balanced our chemical equation. The last step is for you to ensure that the total number of atoms of each element is the same on both sides of equation. So tengoklah. Okay, on your left you have 2 nitrogen. 2 nitrogen on your right. 6 hydrogens. 6 hydrogens on your right. 3 copper on your left. 3 copper on your right. 3 oxygen on your left. 3 oxygen on your right. Okay, so sekarang kita tahulah that our number of atoms of each element is the same on both sides. Okay, so jawapan awak kat sini ada 2, 3, 3. Ni tak ada, ni 3. Okay, so that's your answer. Right, so that's the inspection method. Okay, so do these exercises for your practices. Okay, and then we are going to go to the second method, which is ion electron method. Okay, so ion electron method is mainly for redox reaction. If you remember, during Form 5, you already learned about redox reaction yang ada anode, cathode, kan? So basically redox reaction is a reaction that involves both reduction and oxidation reactions. In that reaction lah, ada elemen yang undergo reduction, ada elemen yang undergo oxidation. Okay, so let's just refresh you guys with these terms. Okay, so oxidation, okay, or like this symbol, oxidation is a process of electron loss. So you will lose electron. Someone will lose electron. So when a species undergoes oxidation, its oxidation number atau oxidation state will increase. Okay, maksudnya bertambah. and then it will also lose one or more electrons. Okay, so contohnya we have magnesium here. Okay, so magnesium will lose electrons to form magnesium 2+. If you look at the oxidation number, magnesium has 0 oxidation state. So after it lose electron, okay, kalau bawa plus 2 electron ni ke kiri, it will be minus 2 electron, maksudnya 2 lose electron. Okay, tapi kita tulis macam tu. Okay, it will lose electron to form Mg2+. Okay, so sekarang Mg2+ ni, the oxidation state is plus 2. So you can see lah, the oxidation state, oxidation number has increased. Another thing is that anything, okay, in this case your magnesium, that undergoes oxidation, it will act as a reducing agent. Why did I put an? A reducing agent, okay? What does it mean by a reducing agent? Reducing agent is someone that will undergo oxidation so that the other person, okay, will undergo reduction. So dia membantu the other element to undergo reduction while dia undergo oxidation. Okay, so that's why they are called reducing agent. Anyone who undergoes oxidation will be called a reducing agent. Okay, so reduction pula, it will be the opposite of oxidation, lawan lah, terbalik. Okay, so it is a process of electron gain, so you will plus electron. Okay, and when your species undergoes reduction, your oxidation number will decrease. Okay, it gains one or more electrons, and it will act as an oxidizing agent because dia undergo reduction. So if you look here, Br2, okay, bromine molecule, okay, it has an oxidation state of 0. Okay, and when it undergoes reduction, it gains electrons. It will form 2 bromide ions. So your bromide ions ni Br minus, okay, Br minus will have minus 1 charge, okay, each. Okay, so you can see that the oxidation number, oxidation state has decreased lah. Okay, so here Sn4+, your stannum or tin ion has a +4 oxidation number. When it is reduced, okay, it gains electrons, 2 electrons. Specifically, it will form Sn2+, okay, with +2 oxidation state. So you can see that daripada +4 pergi +2. Okay, so the oxidation state has decreased. Alright, so maksudnya Sn4+ has undergone reduction. Okay, so before we go into ion electron method, we need to know how to assign your oxidation number. Okay, because when you know how to assign your oxidation number, you will know how to you will know whether your element tu dia undergo oxidation atau reduction. Okay, alright, so let's look here, okay, at the rules of assigning your oxidation numbers for your elements, your molecules, okay, whatever. So first rule is that the oxidation number of an atom or a molecule in its elementary form atau free element. Elementary form maksudnya paling basic, paling lowest energy form is 0. Okay, so let's say if you have an atom like sodium, magnesium, okay, they will have 0 oxidation state. Okay, sama juga dengan oxygen molecule. Oxygen gas memang exist as, oxygen memang exist as oxygen gas molecule. So these two will have oxidation state of 0. Okay, this is their natural state lah, lowest energy state. Okay, benda ni rule pertama yang awak kena tahu. Second rule is that for monoatomic ions, okay, maksudnya ions yang ada satu atom ni, okay, the oxidation number is equal to the charge on the ion. Okay, so macam sodium plus ion, the oxidation state is +1. Aluminium 3 plus ion atau aluminium ion, okay, it will have an oxidation state +3. Iodide ion -1. Sulfide ion S2- will have -2. Okay, so itu adalah general knowledge in chemistry that you need to know. Okay, but there are exceptions, guys. Ada pengecualian. Okay, katakanlah when your hydrogen, let's say hydrogen bonded to a metal, okay, maksudnya dalam metal hydride macam NaH, sodium hydride dengan magnesium hydride, okay, the oxidation number for hydrogen is H is -1. Okay, dia bukannya +1. Why is that? Because your metal here, okay, it is very electropositive. So dia yang akan jadi, Na ni akan jadi +1. Okay, so dengan itu your hydrogen akan ada oxidation state -1 lah. Okay, so +1 -1 dia akan dapat 0. So dia punya molekul ni tak ada charge lah. Macam ini Mg, you know Mg is Mg2+. Okay, so H tu dia akan jadi H-. So you have 2H-. Okay, so in this case, when your hydrogen is bonded to any metal, it will have oxidation number of -1. Okay, next for oxygen. Okay, oxygen in peroxides. So peroxides are your toxic substances. Okay, dia ada banyak oxygen. So the oxidation number for oxygen will be -1 in this case. Okay, so in this case your hydrogen ni akan jadi 2H+. Okay, so maksudnya dia adalah the positive charge, while your oxygen here will be O-. Okay, awak ada 2 O, dia akan jadi O-. Selalunya oksigen akan jadi O2-, but in this case bila dia adalah peroxide, okay, dia adalah -1. Okay, another case is that when your oxygen is combined with fluorine. Okay, fluorine is a very electronegative atom, sangat negatif. Okay, dia lah paling negative charge lah. Okay, so bila oksigen combine dengan fluorine ni, oksigen akan possess a positive oxidation number. Okay, so dia mengalah lah dengan fluorine tu. So the fluorine will be okay, 2 fluorine F-. So in this case your oxygen here will have a +2 oxidation state. Okay, so that's why. Next you have halogen. When it is bonded to oxygen, okay, like in Cl2O7, the oxidation number for halogen will be positive. Okay, so in this case pula, selain fluorine, okay, bila oxygen ni selain dengan whoever halogen yang selain fluorine, dia akan jadi negative, while your halogen will be positive. Okay, alright, so in this case oxygen lebih electronegative. Okay, next 2 rules, okay, for your compound and ion. In a neutral compound, neutral maksudnya dia adalah tak ada charge, the total oxidation number of all atoms that made up the molecule is 0. So let's say bila awak kira the total oxidation number for water, HCl, potassium manganate, okay, the total oxidation number will give 0. If you look at the top right, okay, top right here, you don't have any charges. So that's why the oxidation state is 0. Okay, unlike for polyatomic ions. Polyatomic ions maksudnya awak ada banyak-banyak atom okay, and it is an ion, dia ada charge, okay. The total oxidation number of all atoms made up will equal to the net charge of the ion, okay. So the net charge of the ion is this part here, up here, top right here. So if you look here, okay, your manganate ion, it has a -1 charge, okay. Your chromate ion has a -2 charge. Dichromate ke ni? Dichromate. Dengan ni, nitrite ion has a -1 charge, okay, nitrate ion. So this is important for when you are finding the oxidation state, oxidation number of your manganese ke, chromium ke, nitrogen ke, okay? Okay, so those are the 4 rules that you need to know. So now we're going to look at the example, our first example, and the only example for oxidation state. Okay, so here it says assign the oxidation number of chromium in Cr2O72 minus. So what you are going to do first is you will write down Cr2O72 minus. Okay, so from here we know that this is a polyatomic ion and it has a -2 net charge. Okay, so kita nak cari the oxidation number of chromium. Okay, so now we know that this oxygen is attached to just the chromium metal. Okay, so kita tak adalah rule yang kata dia akan jadi positif atau dia akan ada -1 charge. So that means as a normal, your oxygen punya oxidation number atau oxidation state will be -2. Okay, this is the general rule lah now. Okay, so to find the oxidation state for chromium, we will write down this. Okay, so 2 chromium plus 7 oxygen, so 7. So oxygen punya oxidation state is -2, so you put -2 equals to the total oxidation number for this whole polyatomic ion, which is -2. So -2 letak sini. Okay, alright, so now we just do maths to find chromium. Okay, it is -2. So ini adalah 7 times -2, it is -14. Bawa kanan jadi plus 14. Bahagi dengan 2. Okay, so you will get 12 divided by 2. It will be plus 6. Okay, so dapatlah the oxidation number for chromium, it is plus 6. Okay, so make sure bila dia positive, you have to put the plus. Okay, so sebab itu yang menunjukkan itu adalah oxidation number, bukannya number yang biasa-biasa. Okay, so that is your answer. Okay, so do these exercises for your practices. Okay, so kalau ada masalah boleh tanya saya. And now we will go into balancing our redox reaction. Okay, continue to part 2.